Welcome to Missouri Sports Talk. I'm your host, Cameron Staley. Today I'm here with
Austin Wolkin.
Awesome. We've got Class 6 district predictions today. We do need to do a disclaimer. I've got some work happening on my house today, so So you may hear some drills in the background, some talking. You hear Steve right now. Shout out to Steve. I don't know if he's going to watch this or anything, but he's working on the wall. We're doing some
Looks very nice too. You showed me
fake rock tile on the wall up there by the TV. It does look very nice. I like it a lot. So you guys will hear that in the background. So I'm sorry about that.
Maybe you could put some background music in.
I could try to do that. All right. So District 1. Lindbergh is the 1 seed there, 15-9. Fox has the 8 there, 5-20. Cardinal Ritter is the 4 there, 12-14. SLU has the 5 there, 12-12. And hosting, Seckman is the 2 there, 17-8. Melville has the 7 there, 8-15. Jackson is the 3 there, 20-6. And Oakville is the 6. They are 14-10. I'm not going with Jackson here. They're on a little bit of a slide. Seckman, I don't know. I just don't really like them that much, if we're going to be honest. I am going to take Lindbergh here. I didn't have them ranked in Class 6, but they're on a 7-game win streak. Their best win, 51-48 over Seckman on February 17th. That's the 2 seed in the district, and Lindbergh's the 1. They're scoring 58.1 points per game and allowing 51.3.
Yep. Lindbergh, Oakville, I was going back. For some reason, I thought Oakville might win it. But looking throughout the district and doing some research, I took a peek at Cardinal Ritter, and I saw this team once this year. They came to Helias for the Central Bank Shootout and played Helias in the final game of that night. And they have a nice center, and they have some good guard play. And Ritter, they've always been a very athletic high school, very talented in all their sports. And I'm going to choose Ritter here. 12-14, kind of an underwhelming record. Ranked 4th in the district. But I think they can come out and beat Lindbergh and then take this Class 6 District 1 championship home.
District 2, Marquette leads the way at 17-8. Just lost to Webster Groves, who is my number 2 in Class 5. Marquette's got the 1 seed. Waynesville, they are the 8. They're 6-16. Eureka with the 4. They're 14-9. Parkway South is the 5, surprisingly. They're 18-8. Lafayette Wildwood has the 2 at 12-13. Northwest Cedar Hill has the 7 there, 7-10. Kirkwood has the 3 at 13-10, and Lebanon has the 6 at 7-18. I'm blanking on who hosts this. Do you know, Austin? I think it's Kirkwood. I think Kirkwood hosts this one. But if you notice, there's St. Louis schools and there's Springfield area schools in this district.
Yeah, I was going to say, interesting there.
It's pretty awful for Lebanon because they're going to have to travel, that's like 3.5, 4 hours to get up to Kirkwood for a basketball game that they're going to lose.
Yeah, I wonder how they got put in that situation. We might have to do some research about that because I was wondering, I was like, isn't Lebanon in the Springfield area? I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it is what it is. I'm sorry to Lebanon. I guess it doesn't really matter, though, because they're not going to make it out of the first round anyways. But still, you don't want to have that situation. I will take the Marquette Mustangs. 2 weeks ago when I did my rankings, I had them at 15 in Class 6. Their best win was back on December 28th. They beat Webster Groves 60-41. They're scoring 63.8 and allowing 55.5.
Yes, I was taking a look here at Parkway South. They are ranked 5th in the district at 18-8, and they were on a 10-game win streak from the 14th of January to the 11th of February. And then in their last 6 games, they are 2-4. And you hate to be playing this kind of basketball going into tournament play. Right. So I'm going to take Parkway South out of my possible pick here, and I'm just going to go with the 1 seed here with the Marquette Mustangs. They have some pretty solid wins, some close losses, and I think they should pull it out over Kirkwood, who's kind of been off and on this season.
District 3, DeSmet leads the way with the 1 seed there, 23-3. Howell North has the 8, they're 5-16. Hazelwood Central at 4, they are 13-12. Pattonville has the 5 there, 11-11. Chaminade has the 2 seed. They are 15-10 this year. Hazelwood West has the 7. They are 5-18. CBC comes in at 3. They are 12-13. And Rittner is the 6, sitting at 9-15. CBC, they've had a really disappointing year, having a losing record here, not what they were wanting. I thought they were going to be a lot better than that. I saw them play at DeSmet back in December, and they looked a lot better than 12-13 team, I must admit that. Chaminade, they beat DeSmet earlier on in the season, blew them out at Chaminade, and then back on Valentine's Day, DeSmet beat Chaminade by 3 points. It was 53-50. I'm going to take DeSmet here. I had them at 3 in Class 6. I had Chaminade at 2 in Class 6. Chaminade's been losing. DeSmet did lose their last game of the season. They dropped it to St. Mary's. But I don't know. I like how DeSmet's playing right now. I feel like they play as a team, and I really value that if somebody's playing as a team. They are scoring 68.9 points per game and allowing 48.9. Give me the Spartans in District 3.
Yeah, you mentioned both Chaminade and DeSmet both lost in their final game of the season. Chaminade lost to Vashon, and then DeSmet, you said, lost to St. Mary's.
Yep.
And real quick here, I got a lot of information on these two teams because this is who the district's between, Chaminade or DeSmet. DeSmet has a really talented shooting guard, number 10, Owen Duff, who you might have heard of. He's 6 feet tall, class of 2025. And then also the point guard, Riley Massey. He's their spot-up, pull-up shooter. And then also Jordan Boyd. Yes.
Massey is a North Dakota State basketball commit.
Gotcha. So, and then we had a North Dakota State football commit yesterday we talked about. So, shout out North Dakota State, the Bison, right? The Bison.
I believe so.
And then also number 4, small forward Jordan Boyd. He might, out of all the film I watched, he might be the most talented defensive player I've seen. Very sticky on defense, and he's kind of like a 3-and-D guy. He's going to make some threes for you. So in their game against Chaminade earlier this year, they shot 38%, talking about DeSmet, in the 53-50 win on February 14th. And they went 1-1 against Chaminade on the regular season. They lost on the road by 16, 68-52, and then picked up a win at home, 53-50. Now, you said DeSmet is the host of this?
Yeah.
Okay. And DeSmet, in this game, even though it's not neutral sites, they went 11-0 in neutral site games, and they put up 68.9 points per game, as you mentioned, as the knocking continues. Maybe it's the people telling me not to pick DeSmet here.
The Gremlins.
Yeah. And then some takeaways here. Their guards are really, really physical, and they will block multiple shots a game, which you want to see that out of your guards. And also if your centers can do that as well. The three-point ball is their main point of emphasis on offense, and I feel like they will continue to knock those down throughout district play.
Yep.
And then going to Chaminade here real quick. They've played teams as far away as Washington, D.C.
They had an Indiana school, right?
Yeah, Philadelphia, and then Concord, California. I thought that was interesting. They beat Vianney by 18 and John Burroughs by 12, both at home in back-to-back games.
Yep.
They're +9 in point differential. And then a couple key players here, Jacob Robinson, Jelati White, the center. In these games, in their all-time matchup series, DeSmet is 7-29 against Chaminade, 0-1 in postseason play, but they're going to pick up their postseason win against them this season. I'm going to take DeSmet as well.
All right. District 4. We've got Timberland at the 1. They're 24-1. Troy has the 8. They're 5-19 this year. It's been pretty rough for them. St. Dominic has the 4. They're 12-13. Francis Howell is at the 5. They're 11-14. Liberty, Wentzville, they are the 2. They're 21-4. Fort Zumwalt West has the 7 seed. They are 11-15. Fort Zumwalt North, they are the 3 seed. They are 17-8. And Howell Central has the 6 seed. They are sitting at 16-10. So, as I text my mother that we are filming, probably a good thing for her to know because they're getting louder and louder up there.
Yeah.
And it's starting to bother me a little bit. So, Timberland, I had them at 18 in Class 6. I think I was wrong about that. They picked up a really good win last night. This will be up Sunday morning, by the way. I forgot to tell you that because I got to get Slater and Smithton up Saturday night. But so 2 nights ago, when you guys are watching this, if you're watching on Sunday, they beat Hazelwood East in double overtime, 106-104. Insane game.
That's what GSV said. He was like the craziest game you'll ever see, and I wish I would have been able to watch it. It looked like a very entertaining game.
Right. So Timberland, 76.8 points per game and allowing 54.2. I'm going to take them here in this district.
Yeah. So going back to the last district, this Met versus Chaminade. This district is between Timberland and Liberty, the 1 and 2. Timberland played Liberty once already. It was their second game of the season, and they pulled out a win there by a double-digit margin. They're now on a 13-game win streak going into district play. I don't think you can have it any better than that. They were perfect at home and on the road, and they won 95.5% of their games. Most wins in a season since their 2016 year. And then their most wins all time, according to the Misha records, that dates back to 2009. And this was their first season ever being perfect at home. And are they the host of this tournament?
I think they are.
I would love to find this out here. Give me one second.
I'm like 80% certain that Timberland is hosting this one.
So Liberty is the host of this tournament, but like I said, Timberland was perfect on the road this year as well. So I'm going to pick the
Liberty Winsville?
Timberland.
Oh, you're taking Timberland.
I'm going to take Timberland. And then
I zoned out a little
three
bit.
players to hit on here for if you want to watch their games. Austin Humphrey, number 5, the shooting guard. Really good three-point shooter. Mason Carroll, the small forward, number 12. He can take it coast to coast by himself while finishing with a two-hand jam, so he can dunk. And then lastly, the number 1 guard, Jacob Idelat. Deep range, runs well in transition. So give me Timberland in this district.
District 5, Nixa is the 1 seed there, 24-2, and they are hosting. The 8 seed is Neosho. They're 8-18. Glendale has the 4. They're 12-11. Branson is a 5. They're 14-12. Kickapoo's the 2, they're 23-3. Joplin's the 7, they are 9-17. Republic is the 3, they are 22-4. And Ozark is the 6, they are 13-12. So I got to see Nixa this year. Austin, you got to watch some film on Republic when Helias played them.
Yep.
I don't think either of us have gotten to see any of the other teams. Am I correct on that?
Yeah.
So I like Nixa a lot. They played Central, and Central kept it close because they're a really good basketball team, but in all honesty, Nixa kind of beat them up a little bit, and it was like, I don't know, it was really fun to watch them, and they play a really entertaining style of basketball. They are number 6 in Class 6 in my rankings. Their best win was 51-43 over Kickapoo back on February 11th. That's their competition in this district. That will probably be the district championship game. Knicks is scoring 64.1 a game and allowing 48.6.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Republic is a very solid basketball program, but if you compare it to the Chiefs of Kickapoo and the Eagles of Nixa, I don't think they have a shot winning this. Now it's between Nixa and Kickapoo. And I didn't see Kickapoo play, but when Helias Catholic traveled down to Springfield to participate in the Bill Rose Queen City Showcase at Betty and Bobby Arena, Kickapoo had a very tall team, I remember, and some interesting uniforms. Their colors are like yellow and brown. Interesting. And I haven't seen Nixa this year. I know you have. You're taking Nixa, you said, correct? I'm going to take Kickapoo in this one.
Okay. I'm just not a fan of the yellow and brown. It's,
Well, I like the Padres, so I don't really.
Right.
I think it's okay.
District 6 is on your screen right now. Rockhurst is the 1. They're 20-4. William Crispin has the 8. They're 2-23. Carthage is the 4. They're 16-10. Lee Summit West has the 5. They're 10-15. Lee Summit North is the 2. They are 16-10. Truman has the 7 at a 500 record. They're 13-13. I was surprised to see them all the way down at 7. Lee Summit is the 3 seed. They're 13-13. Currently on a 6-game losing streak, Austin. And Ray Peck is the 6. They're 11-14. I was really liking Lee Summit, I got to be honest. And then they're losing 6 straight. Yeah. I've got Rockhurst as my number 4 in Class 6, so I've got to go with them here. Their best win is over my number 3 in Class 5, who actually just lost last night, 2 nights ago for my Sunday watchers. Raytown was the loser last night, and then Rockhurst beat them 66-45 back on December 20th. I know that's a long time ago, but still, nonetheless, a good win. Rockhurst scoring 62.7 and allowing 47.8.
Yeah, pretty easy pick here. One of the easier districts I think we're going to pick. I'm going to also take Rockhurst here as well.
All right. District 7. This is probably the most exciting one for us in 6.
I think another name for Class 6, District 7, the Battle of the Columbia Schools.
It is the Battle of the Columbia Schools because we've got Battle of
Public
Columbia,
schools.
we've got Hickman, we've got Rockbridge. And then we've got some like Kansas City area teams. We got Fort Osage, Blue Springs South, and Grain Valley, and then Smith Cotton is from Sedalia. So got some teams sprinkled in along I-70, so it shouldn't be too bad of a drive down to Rockbridge.
Dude, Smith Cotton is such an interesting school, man. It's just a massive school planted in the middle of nowhere, dude, in Sedalia. And their campus is really nice. I talked about this on the Sarah Sports Recap podcast. Go listen, check it out on Spotify. When you walk into their gymnasium, and you've been there too, it's like usually you have to walk through a school to get to their gymnasium. It opens up right into their gym when you walk in. And it kind of reminded me of like a small D2 kind of college arena.
Right.
Yeah. But I just want to throw that in. Sorry.
So let me get through the seeds here. Battle's the 1 there, 18-8. Fort Osage has the 8 there, 12-14. Hickman's the 4 at 18-8. Very surprising to see him at 4. Blue Springs is the 5 there, 12-13. Blue Springs South is the 2 there, 19-7. Smith Cotton's the 7, they're 16-8. Rockbridge has the 3, they're hosting, as I said, they're 18-7. And Grain Valley has the 6, they're 16-8. Just beat Raytown last night, as I had mentioned. I had Grain Valley ranked at like 20. I want to say I had them at 25 in Class 6, and they have the 6 in this district. So if that tells you how stacked that district is, if it doesn't, I don't know what else I could say to you. I've got Battle here. I've got them as my number 12 in Class 6. I like how they play. I got to see them against Smith Cotton, who's in this district, and they play some insane press defense. You got to see them as well. Helias actually beat them. It was your all senior night, beat them by 6. Almost let them come back though. So, glad you guys were able to not blow, what was it, like 18-point lead?
Oh, trust me, my knees were trembling. I had to go. I usually stand up for the games in the student section. I'm also the DJ at the Helias game, so I do the music, and I had to go sit down against the wall. It was, but we pulled it out. And, it was a similar situation last night against Rockbridge as well. Rockbridge almost came back, but the baby Bruins just couldn't do it. Their parents were getting mad at us because we were chanting, "Who's your daddy?" And then they went back to the classic, "We own you in football." So
yeah, let's play football.
Yeah,
let's play football.
Let's play football. But shout out Rockbridge.
I got to see Rockbridge on Tuesday night against Blair Oaks, and I should put out a disclaimer here. Yes, the refs were a little interesting, but man, those Rockbridge parents, they were so mad.
They were. If this tells you anything about Rockbridge, what I'm about to say here. They were yelling in the first or the second quarter of the JV game.
That's just so crazy.
I mean, absolutely screaming at the referees. I'm like,
I turned around to one of the parents at that game against Blair Oaks, and I said, I think they're here for the refs, not for their kids.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
The Rockbridge parents, you guys are really interesting. Shout out to you guys. Maybe tone it down a little bit.
Maybe you don't know this answer to this question. Is the junior varsity season's done, or do they have a tournament? I think they're done.
I think JV's all done.
Yep.
By now. So
shout out to all the JV teams and
yes, sir.
My JV Crusaders.
So back to my pick here. As I said, I'm taking Battle. It is at Rockbridge, obviously. Their best win, in my opinion, I mean, they blew Rockbridge out of the water, but they beat Hickman 97-76 back on February 21st. That was, 9 days ago as we're filming this. Yep. 76.3 points per game and allowing 64. The defense, you don't want to allow as many points as that, but the pace that they play is just kind of a casualty to how they play.
Yep. Cam mentioned this to me. Maybe it was late January. It's whenever you went to battle against Smith Cotton. It was around that time. And Cam was like, dude, this team flies up and down the court. And I saw it at Helias. When they get going, they go quick. And battle here, they opened up scoring 85-plus points in the first 3 games of the season. 95-33 versus McClure. I just had to throw that in. McClure, by the way, is winless. Yeah. 102-74 against the Jays. Everybody was shocked by that score. And then 85-79 versus Hickman. They did go 2-0 against Hickman on the season, 85-79 on 12/6/24. That was a neutral site game. And then, like you mentioned, 97-76 at home. They did lose back-to-back games, though, against the Rolla Bulldogs, who is the number 1 seed in Class 5 District 5. And then they also lost to Tolton 81-74 in double overtime. Now, Battle has some very talented guards here. Vernell Holt, the number 1 point guard. He's one of the best players I think we have here in mid-Missouri. Makes threes, makes twos, makes free throws, and can really shoot from anywhere on the court. Not to mention, he puts up around 20 points per game. Brandon Rooks as well, catch and shoot guard. You always got to have one of those guys on the team. And then Caden Lewis as well. Now, getting into Hickman here. 18-8 on the season. Oh, by the way, Battle did win the CMAC conference, which is the premier high school conference in mid-Missouri. Hickman. I was going to pick Battle here. I'm changing it. I'm going Hickman.
Okay.
I love Roman Kemp. I love Elijah Tatum. And I absolutely love Brock Camp. I think those 3 guys can definitely win this Class 6 District 7. I mean, they were on a 9-game win streak at one point. I just like the way they look, and I like the way their players can play here in the postseason because you forget about everything once you get into postseason play. Lastly, one thing about Rockbridge as well. They're not winning it. This team is what's a word for a team that is
they're iffy.
They're kind of like
inconsistent.
They're inconsistent. And I feel like they kind of put a mask on themselves, and that mask is starting to peel away as we get into the playoffs. I mean, against actual real competition. Let me find it in my notes here. Where's it at? Oh, yeah. So, and there's 6 games of actual competition.
What's the qualifications here?
Like Hickman, Battle.
Okay,
like
so
winning programs.
So like Missouri Sports Talk top 25 kind of guys.
Top 25 teams. In 6 games against probably your top 25 teams, they put up under 50 points and went 2-4 in those games. They are now 2-5 in those games with their loss to Helias last night. They did put up plus 50, but Rockbridge is just no. They're fake. So we're going to go with Hickman here in this district. I got to see Hickman play at Hickman. Roman Kemp is a very talented guard, and Brock Camp can just about do anything he wants in the paint. So
right, yeah. Big shout out to Bubby Buckets.
Is that his nickname?
Yeah. So I had him on over the summer. If anybody remembers that,
you did?
had him on sit down interview. Yeah, you're sitting in the same chair as Brock Camp sat in.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So.
Oh wow.
He has an interesting style of play. Some people that don't know him are gonna say it's arrogant. You got to be honest. Brock, you know, I wouldn't call it arrogance. I think he has a lot of passion, and sometimes it does come off as arrogant.
If you guys want a similar player at the NCAA level, check out Eddie Lampkin. He plays for Syracuse. That boy is talking all the time up and down the court. You might remember Eddie. He was on Colorado last year. Yeah. That's how I know him. So check out Eddie Lampkin. Very similar to Brock Camp.
All right, so let's go ahead with the last district. It's the most stacked district, easily the most stacked district in Class 6. This one is insane. District 8 is on your screen. Our number 1 in the state, the whole entire state, any class, Oak Park leads the way. They're 25-1 this season. Central St. Joseph is the 8th. They're 11-15. Park Hill, who I believe, at number 11 in Class 6. The number 11 in Class 6 is the 4 seed.
Ridiculous.
They're 18-8. Liberty, they're the 5. They're 13-13. North KC, I think I had them around 7 or 8 in Class 6. They have the 2 seed. Park Hill South is 10-14. They are the 7 seed. Staley, who I believe I had at 5 in Class 6, is the 3 seed. They are 20-6. And Liberty North rounds it out. They barely just missed my top 25. Probably would say they're 27 or 28 in Class 6. They have the 6th seed. They're 14-12 this year. This is crazy.
I would pick maybe 5 of these teams in any other district we have here in
no
Class
kidding.
6. Like, it's just surreal, man. The very talented district.
I wish we could have switched like the district with Rockhurst, District 6. Like if I can bring it back up for us at least. Like Lee Summit's the 2 in that one. Mm-hmm. And or Lee Summit North I should say is the 2. Lee Summit is the 3. If we would have brought in like say Staley as a 2 seed,
They win that easily.
like and just flipped and put like say one of those 2 like or even put like William Chrisman into this one,
Yeah.
like it would have evened the districts out so much better.
And keeping them geographically located, keeping the Kansas City teams located with the Kansas City teams, and the St. Louis teams kind of located with the St. Louis teams, the Mid-Missouri teams. I don't know why this year they're all kind of scattered around. Like
Yeah.
I don't really understand that. And does Misha put them together every year?
I think so. It seemed like they just had a few districts that like were priority to them, and then it was just like, okay, let's throw people where we can.
Because the competition, man, if you kind of split these teams up, it'd be way better. And instead, we have 3 top 5 teams here that are just not going to be able to play and contend for a state championship.
Right.
So-
So let's go ahead and talk about our pick here. Obviously, I'm going with Oak Park, right? I think that's going to be the same thing for you. As I mentioned, my number 1 in the state, obviously number 1 in Class 6. Their best win, in my opinion, 71-62 over Vashon back on December 13th in the Norm Stewart Classic. I filmed that game, so if you want to watch that, go ahead, go back into
That's a
my
fabulous
December
tournament
content.
as well, the Norm Stewart Classic. That is an amazing tournament. Like that a lot.
You guys lost in that to Vianney.
Yes. That
was when you guys were cold.
That's when I found out about Luke Walsh and watched that game. Yeah.
I filmed that one as well. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, you guys turned it around. Obviously, we talked
yeah.
about that
Yeah.
a lot. So, 74.1 points per game for Oak Park, 54.7 points allowed. They are led by San Diego basketball signee. I think he's signed by now, Corbin Allen. So,
Yep.
big shout out to him.
Yeah, San Diego is one of my favorite places on earth. Absolutely beautiful place. You actually got to go down there for
I
San
did.
Diego State against Oregon State, correct? Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm also going to take Oak Park here, obviously. They went 25-1. What was that only loss? Yes, that only loss was in the second game of the season in 2024, and that was in the Thanksgiving Hoop Fest, and they lost to North Crowley, a team out of Fort Worth, Texas, 55-51. And then I guess now they are on a 24-game win streak, something like that if my math is math in there, maybe 23. I want to talk about their head coach here. He's in their second season, Sharon Collins. He's a Kansas alum. He's an 08 national champion on Kansas, I believe. He has 26.9 thousand followers on Twitter. He's also followed by the NBA on Twitter.
Nice.
He's an ex-NBA player and has not lost a home game since taking over last season at Oak Park.
Wow.
Talk about that, man. Holy cow.
Yeah, no kidding. So I was on my phone, obviously. You guys noticed that. It wasn't because I wasn't paying attention to Austin. I was looking for North Crowley on Max Preps. Mm-hmm. They are in the largest class in Texas.
Class 7? Class 8?
Is there 8 classes? If there's 8 classes, then they're in the third largest.
I don't know. I was guessing there.
They're in 6A, Region 1, District 3.
Wow.
That's a lot of words there. Mm-hmm. But they are 31-6 this year in Texas. So that's
Yeah.
a pretty damn good team that beat Oak Park.
Yeah, and like I said, second game of the season. There's going to be a little things they got to work out the knots, obviously, and they definitely did that.
Yeah.
Going back to Corbin Allen here real quick. Class of 2025, the 6'6" point guard, like you said, San Diego men's basketball commit. He was a 3-star on 247 Sports, 348th national, 57th at his position, and then 14th in the state. He's a do-it-all player on a pass-first team. I think that's why they're so good. They're gonna pass up a good shot for an even better shot. Lastly, here I do want to kind of talk about Staley here and one of their players as we wrap this up. The number 35 small forward Xavier Wilson. I was watching film on Staley trying to determine my pick for this very talented district, and he just was balling. And I looked him up on 247 Sports. He is ranked as a 3-star. I don't know if he's committed anywhere yet, but he is a 3-star on 247. He's physically built. He looks like a linebacker. I mean, he can dunk. He has good ball control. And he kind of lowers the shoulder to create power to go inside and get these layups that he gets. And very talented player on a very good Staley team, but just not good enough. I'm going to take the Oak Park Northman here.
All right, that's all I've got. Austin, you coming on for state predictions or what?
State predictions, I can make that happen.
Okay, we'll see what we can do.
Make that happen. Hopefully Elias in there for Class 5.
Yep. So with classes 1, 2, and 3, I think I'm gonna skip predictions for sectionals. That's the round of 16, because that's all happening on Monday. So that's, if you're watching this when we upload it on Sunday, that's tomorrow. So I don't have time to put out 3 classes there. So I will work on the small school predictions once they make it to quarterfinals, the Elite 8 for classes 1, 2, and 3. I'll put out predictions for that. So that's all you got for today. It's been Missouri Sports Talk. See you next time.